Steve Kerr, his status and his future is very, very up in the air. Um, there's been a lot of reports that came down that he's thinking about retiring, and they're gonna think about dismantling the team. And there's thoughts. There's nothing is in stone, but the core of Steve Kerr, Draymond, and Curry may never be together again, right? He did meet. I see the report that he did meet with the front office for a couple of hours, and they had a nice meeting, discussed some things, and they're gonna go ahead and have some more advanced talks next week. And it really depends on what Kerr wants to do. If he can be able to sign up long term, I believe that he wanted some type of short term deal. I don't know if Golden State is willing to do that. They might want to go ahead and go get somebody that can be able to give them just a new face, new idea, new voice, maybe head into a rebuilding period in their franchise. Because, when you've been doing something for 12 years and you've been a dynasty for a great portion of that, at some point there needs to be a hard reset. Every team has done it. Chicago had to do it when Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen weren't there. The Lakers had to do it when Shaq left and it was just Kobe Bryant. They had to figure out how to be able to get back to the top. The New England Patriots had to do it. All the dynasties that you can possibly think of. The Chiefs are currently going through their soft type of restructuring, rebuild. So every team has to go through and make these tough decisions. So I'd love to see how it works out in regards to what deal they strike, if they strike a deal. And if they do look at Steve Kerr and say, look, although we do appreciate everything that you've done for us, and we in a particular world would love to have you back, I think it might be beneficial for us to part ways, because we just want to just kind of start fresh and go in another direction to see how we can be able to start working on player development. Because in Steve Kerr's tenure, I can really honestly tell you that player development has not been a strong suit for Steve Kerr. He hasn't had time to develop guys. We talked at so much, with Jonathan Kuminga not really getting the opportunity to be able to excel with Golden State. Leaves Golden State, goes to the Hawks, and looks like, Dominique Wilkins out there. Like, he's playing well. His confidence is high. He looks like he has a home, a role that he can be able to really excel at and start to develop and advance his career there in Atlanta. He wasn't going to be able to do that in Golden State. Steve Kerr just could not find a way to fit him into whatever scheme and game plan he wanted to go ahead and execute. That happens. So does the front office, does ownership want to continue this trend of having young talents that the coach cannot mold? Or you're going to continue to go into a situation where you keep trying to trade for veteran guys to put around Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler and see if you can be able to just maintain what you have, because it hasn't worked. If you continue to try to invest in old players, there's a very, very good chance that those old players will fall victim to injury. It's just the way it goes. We've seen that a little bit with our Met silent assassin, that you go ahead and take risk on guys that are a little long in the tooth, and you get what you pay for. So there's a risk here. But there's also a crazy rumor that was out there. I don't know if it's true, but I like to talk about crazy rumors. Is that according to the rumors, and there's no plausible source behind this, but they were saying that the front office Golden State's front office is getting tired and growing weary of Steve Kerr's political views and his outspokenness in regards to certain social issues. And I'm just like, he's been here for 12 years. When did that become a problem? When you guys were winning 4 championships? Or when you were going through your lean years and not winning your championships? You see, it goes back to what I always talk about. tolerance. We will tolerate you, although we might not be comfortable with certain things you say, because why? You're winning. But once the winning goes away, hey, all that stuff that you were saying before, we don't like it. And, oh, now you don't like who I am. No, they never liked who you are. But they couldn't justify not having you here because you kept winning. That's the problem. We face that in so many aspects and avenues in our lives, that we tolerate people for the sake of production.
Yeah, and money.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
It's just amazing.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that doesn't really even matter until... it should always matter, but, like, up until, like, we don't really need you anymore. Like, you're not really benefiting us, so, now you need to shut your mouth or we're letting you go.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what it is. Just like, okay, cool. Now you're no benefit to us anymore. So all that political stuff you're talking about, we don't like it now.
Yeah, that's the reason why we're letting you go.
Yeah,
it's becoming detriment with the players and the team and whatever.
BS.
Yeah.
BS. It's probably just hurting some billionaires' feelings because Steve Kerr is very opinionated on certain things, and I respect him for it. He learned from the best. That's how Greg Popovich was. Greg Popovich never held his tongue for nobody. And he could do that. Why? Because you see what he did with the Spurs. Winning breeds tolerance. Success, money, security breeds tolerance. Somebody can hate your guts, but because you can be able to provide something for them, they will go ahead and tolerate you until you no longer provide that particular thing for them. We have a lot of symbiotic relationships out here, whether it be intimate relationships or business relationships. So, how do I feel if this is true? And Golden State's full of shit. Their front office is full of shit. But most billionaires are anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Is that they are fake, and they'll go ahead and laugh in your face and tell you how great you are, and then they'll go ahead and plot behind your back to try to excommunicate you. You see what they did to Mark Jackson? Mark Jackson hasn't had an NBA coaching job since, and it's been 12 years, because he had some political views in the locker room, and he was very, very outspoken about certain stuff. Kind of like Jaden Ivey, all this other things, right? But do I feel that Jaden Ivey should be kicked out of the NBA? Do I feel that he should be excommunicated and blacklisted from every team? No, I don't believe so. I believe that he's talented enough to be able to get another shot. He's posting all on his social media. Him and his wife are good now through the Lord. The Lord got them better. Shouts to y'all. Why should Mark Jackson have to suffer because he has his own particular views? So again, tolerance. And guarantee if Mark Jackson would have won an NBA title, Mark Jackson would still be coaching. Because his religious views didn't get in the way of producing a championship. So I'd love to see how this plays out. I think either way it's fine if they want to go ahead and mutually part ways. Steve Kerr is a Hall of Famer. He's done exactly what he needed to do in Golden State. If he ever choose to want to come back and coach somebody else, he has the ability to do so if he wanted to. Or he can be able to just leave it there and be one of the greatest coaches to coach one of the greatest dynasties in sports history, right? It's not a bad way to go out. Or you can be able to be like Golden State and start thinking about your future. You have to start thinking about a future without Steph Curry, without Draymond Green. What are you going to do? What are the steps and the building blocks that you're going to start to put in place to be able to have that happen? Not saying that you got to move on from that now. Steph Curry is still a great player. He's going to be there for a while, but you do have to start thinking about these things and put things in place. So if the first thing to replace is the head coach for you to get somebody who has that forward thinking vision, very proactive and progressive in regards to how they build their team out and whatever their philosophy is offensively. If you want to get a head start on it, then sure. So we'll see. Moving on.